Hey, what's going on, everyone? Jorel.solis with Confidence Pest Control. And as always, first and foremost, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in, giving me a little bit of your time. My only hope is that I can give you some valuable information that you can use to help grow your business and get to where you want to be. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. It does mean the world to me that you're tuning in. With that being said, we're going to jump right into the video. Last week I mentioned how I was going to be going over marketing strategies and different ways to grow your business. I'm going to stick to that same theme. I talked about door knocking, how it's important, why you should do it, who you should do it, and how you should do all those things, right? Well, today we're going to talk about something else that's really great. It can really double, triple your business if done right, and it really is super simple to do. And I'm talking about strategic partnerships. And people sleep on this one, and I don't know why, but it's so useful, and it's something that you can do. Oh man, this is a really great way to grow your business and to help you grow your business, especially in the beginning, whenever you, or towards the beginning when you still don't have a whole lot of money to use to spend on ads and Google, local service ads and all that other stuff. This is going to be a no cost way to do so. So what is strategic partnerships? Quite simply, it is two businesses that share the same customer that are not competing, and it's a way for them to share trust, referrals, and just grow together, right? For example, if you're in the pest control business or the pest control space, obviously a strategic partner you want to have is lawn care, right? That's a given. But think about your other ones: your pool cleaners, your electricians, your plumbers, HVAC, roofers, and then you can even get into like the realtors and property management companies. But all these are really great strategic partnerships. And why is it useful? Because it's a transfer of trust is what it is. If you have a plumber or somebody that an HVAC is at your home and they tell you, hey, by the way, I see some rat droppings, or hey, your electricity is getting faulty because there's wires being chewed because there's a rodent in your attic that's chewing these wires. The first question the customer is going to ask, do you know anybody that can help me? And that's where you want to have that strategic partnership, right? That's where you want to be with that plumber, that HVAC guy, that electrician. You want to have that relationship. So when they say, oh yeah, I do have somebody, I have a great guy, he helps a lot of people, he's my referral, he's my go-to guy. Now they automatically, because they already trust that electrician, that plumber, that lawn care, whoever it is. And since they've already earned that customer's trust, when they refer somebody else out, oh dude, it's money in the bank. That's quite literally, it's easy. They're not gonna go call anybody else. All they're gonna do is Google you specifically so they can get your phone number and give you a call. And they're gonna say, hey, Mr. 123 with so and so electric company, he told me to give you a call because we're having rodent issues. And then, as I said, all you have to do as the owner of whatever business it is answer the phone, be polite and friendly, and say, oh no, I'm sorry to hear that, but the great thing is I can help you out with whatever that problem is, right? It's so simple. They're not calling you to ask you how much it is. They're not calling you to get quotes from and see, oh yeah, I want to talk. No, they have an issue and they're ready to get it solved, and they called you because they trust you already, because who they're using trusts you. And so it's as simple as that. It really is. And for example, I have a strategic partnership with a lawn care guy that we've become actually really good friends. We coach our kids on football teams together, and we work together. He has a lawn care company and a lighting company for holiday lights, right? And neither of those things are anything that I do. So I have no problem, even if there was something I do. I don't mind helping others out. That's just who I am. I want to help others. But we're not competing customer or competing companies. We have the exact same customer base, right? Homeowners who are trying to protect their home, who are trying to take care of their home. So right there, hey, we work well together. And so whenever he's doing his thing, or whenever I get new customers and they say, hey, I'm new to the area, do you have a loan guy? Absolutely I do. I've got the best guy in the area. He's going to take care of you. And I send him referrals. And the same thing, it's vice versa. He goes to homes and they say, hey, we have, we're seeing a lot more spiders and things like that. I know you really just control the weeds and fertilizer, but do you know anybody that does pest control? And I've gotten dozens of customers because of that. He sends me those referrals. I take care of those customers just like they're my own, which he would do for me. And so because of all that, it works really, really well. So we're happy to continue to send those customers back and forth and to send new customers to each other all the time. It works really, really great. And now that we're getting into Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas time, now I'm just like, hey man, every customer that I'm going to go to, I'm going to refer your business. Hey, you have a beautiful home. I've got a guy who's offering great specials for anybody who signs up through this way. And we can get a little bit more into that, but you can have specific plans and programs that are, tailored for your customers, for their business, and vice versa. Everybody who signs up from his company, with mine, they get a special deal because, again, it's partnerships, and those referrals, they're just going to flow. They're just going to keep coming in, and it's a really, really great way to grow your business. So I highly recommend you do it. I highly recommend you find some really great partners to partner with, and it's going to help you both so much. So we talked about what it is. We talked about why it's important, and as well, I forgot to mention, it's no cost, right? There's no money that you have to spend. You don't have to spend the money on flyers. Again, you don't have to spend all that money on marketing. All it is relationships. You do a good thing, you take care of them, and they're going to continue to send them more and more and more. That's all it is. So it costs you nothing but doing what you're supposed to be doing anyways, and that's giving it everything you got, just being the best, right? So just do those things, and you're going to grow your business. You're going to get those referrals because those companies, they're also going to say, hey, whenever the next time they get to that customer, they're going to say, hey, that pest control company that you referred me, they came out, man, they're good, they're great, and so now they feel good about it, and so they're going to have no problem doing it more and more and more because, again, they know that their customers are taken care of. And and the great thing about this is you can work it out. You can be creative and do however you want, right? So that maybe you give them 10%. Say, hey, every referral you give me, I'm going to give you 10% of that contract value, and you're going to pay me. I'm going to pay you that. It's salesmen, right? They're just salesmen for your company, and pay. Or say, I'm gonna give you $100 for every customer you send me, or $50 for every. Again, however you want to do it. If they have 1,000 customers and there's like, oh yeah, we'll send it to you, $50 a pop. I mean, they're making money. You're making money. Their customers are being taken care of. I mean, it's a win all the way around, right? I mean, all the way around. So for those of you who aren't doing this or have never thought about it, this is one of the greatest things you can do for your business, especially for home service businesses, because with home services, we all share the same customers, all of us, homeowners, right? That's who we're targeting. And they're going to have issues with electrical one day, plumbing, roofing, power spraying, all the same things, the same customer we all share. So it would really, to Marine Corps terminology, it would really behoove you to partner with these people because it's just going to help every single one of you. And with that being said, let's talk about who you should be partnering with. Obviously, I've mentioned a lot of the different types of companies and industries that you want to look for, but you don't want to just partner with any electric company. You don't want to just partner with any lawn care company. And I'm gonna be honest, this is exactly what I did, the way that I did it. I went through after I was like, okay, the partnerships, this is what I'm gonna do. So I knew, I again, if you're in pest control, go onto Google and find the top 5 best lawn care companies, and find local ones too. You don't want to try to partner with, Emerald Lawns. I mean, maybe you do, but you can try to partner with another local service company, because again, you want to find similarities between you and them, and the customer. They're looking for other local companies as well, so you want to find somebody local. So find the 5 best local lawn care companies, and then do the 5 best pool cleaning companies, the 5 best electricians, the 5 best plumbers, HVAC, roofing. Find all those, right? And go through it, and do a little bit of research. You can do this while you're sitting at home. Just go through and okay, they're the best, and go through. And when I say the best, look for the reviews. Read those reviews. If you're trying to partner with the company that has 12 reviews and they're a 3-star company, I mean, me personally, I wouldn't want to partner with them, because the last thing I want to do is say, oh yeah, I've got a guy sitting, an electrician who shows up smelling like cigarettes, just it is unkempt, it doesn't do very good at his job, and that company or that customer is like, what the hell, man? Why are you sending this person over here to my home? I trusted you. Now I know not to trust you anymore, and you're gonna and those things will really eat away at that relationship, because it would just, you do something like that, they're not gonna trust you anymore. So you want to find the best companies. That way you can say, hey, yeah, look, I stand on who I sent, because they are the best. So find those companies that have a lot of reviews and have a really great reputation. That's the first thing. And then what I also did was I called them. I took time out of my day while, especially when it was in the beginning and I had a lot more time. I'm driving, and I knew the companies. I had already highlighted them, the ones that I wanted to give a call, and I wanted to see how they're going to treat the customer. So I called as a customer. How are you going to treat me? Not as a business owner, but as a potential customer. And I've talked about this in other videos, and it just blew my mind how many companies, 1, didn't answer, and 2, answered just very, very unprofessionally, and their customer service was just lacking on a big scale. I mean, there was times when I'm calling a lawn care company, and it was just, hello? And I'm like, oh, all right, well, that's, strike 1. I'm like, hey, yeah, I'm trying to look for this lawn care company, whatever. And they're like, yeah, this is it. I'm like, all right, well, I have an issue. They're like, okay, well, send me your address and I'll come check it out. It's like, dude, all right, you know what? I'll call you back. And I mean, there was just no professionalism and no customer service, and I'm big on that. I take that to another level for myself. I'm like, listen, I want to be the friendliest pest control company in all of Central Texas. I want to have the best customer service in all of Belton, Temple, Texas. And so I want to have people and other companies that have the same values, that have the same ideas, that have the same type of professionalism as I do, the same type of customer service as I do. It doesn't have to be the exact same, but I want it to be similar, And so I'm like, all right, well, I'm calling that company. They immediately, they had good reviews, but because of the interaction that I had with them, I'm like, all right, the last thing I want is for my customer to have this exact same interaction with this lawn care company and just feel like, okay, well, I don't trust them. So I don't want that. I knew right away that's not a company I'm going to partner with. And it took some trial and error. I called multiple companies, and it was the same thing so many times, just not answering and just zero customer service. I mean, and when it came to lawn care, and because you can throw a hat up in the air and it's going to fall down on a lawn care company, right? Whether it be John Smith just with John Smith Lawn Care, or a bigger lawn care company, but there's a dime a dozen, right? So there's plenty out there, but you want to find the ones that are similar to you, the ones that have a good digital presence, the ones that are on social media, the ones that have positive reviews, and again, that have that customer service skills and professionalism. And so, man, with all the lawn cares, just nobody was checking off those boxes for me. I'll be completely honest, nobody was. And so I had given up on finding a good lawn care company to recommend. When people would ask, I'm like, I don't really have anybody that I trust. And I would straight tell them, I'm like, there's not anybody that I have that I trust to recommend you to, just plain and simple. But then I met James, and we coach our son again. He drafted my son that first year. We got to talking, and he's like, yeah, I got a lawn care business. I'm like, all right, well, let me look it up. And yeah, he had a lot of positive reviews. It was a reliable company. The community loves him. He's doing a lot of good. I'm like, all right. And so we get to talking, and he's filling me out the same way too. And then, we started rapping, and that's how it happened, plain and simple. And so since then, we've been able to refer each other plenty of business, but it took building a relationship with him, and that's that's just what it takes. You got to find a company, and then once you do find a company, right now, say you find a company that hits all the criteria that you have, that you want to be able to refer to, right? Then you don't just go up to them and say, hey, I want you to start referring me business. Like, what? Like, dude, I don't fucking know you. Why would I start referring you business? I don't know you. That's where your relationship building, and this is a great skill to just work on. But this is where it work. This is where it really pays to build this type of skill in relationship building. Find the company, find out who the owner is, and then start building that relationship. And what I mean is show up to their office, say, hey, my name is Jorel.solis. I own a local pest control business. And, I was online and I saw that you have a great reputation. And, there's just nothing but great things to say about you. Can I buy you a cup of coffee one of these days? I'd really just like to talk to you and pick your brain a little bit, And what you do right there is you set them up. Now that, you've given them compliments, now they feel good. And you're not over there asking, hey, can you help me out? You're just showing up with a handout. No. You're saying, hey, I love what you're doing. And that's a great line to use. Hey, I'm very inspired by what you're doing. I'd love to learn more about it. Would you let me buy you a cup of coffee to pick your brain a little bit? And you're going to learn that people want to help others, right? And they hear that and they're just like, oh yeah, man, thank you so much. They're going to be super, super receptive of that. They really are. It's human nature. When you make them feel good, they're gonna smile. They're gonna drop that guard. They say, "Yeah, absolutely. What can I do for you?" And they want to give that information. They're proud of what they've done, so they want to share it. So approach them that way, and it's gonna work out for you. I swear to you, it will. I'm very inspired by what you've done, and I'd love to learn more. Can I buy you a cup of coffee to pick your brain a little bit? Memorize those lines. It's going to help you so much. And once you do, ask them. And that's the thing. Don't just recite these lines thinking, okay, I'm just going through the motions. All right, now help me. No. Be genuine about it. Learn from them. Ask them questions. They've been able to grow their business for a reason. So genuinely want to learn. Ask them. Pick their brain, do all those things just like you would do anybody else that is a mentor that you want to learn from, because everybody out there has a lesson that they can teach you, so humble yourself and learn that. Realize that you're not the smartest person out there. Everybody out there can teach you something. So be eager to learn. And so when you get that sit down, take advantage of it. Ask them questions. How'd you do this? Oh, how'd you, get these customers? How'd you get to these many reviews? What are the things? Because there's going to be a lot of things that they can teach you. And then say, I really love it. What's something that I can do that can help you? Again, you're not asking for anything. All you're asking is how to help them. And they're going to be receptive. Oh, well, if you meet anybody who needs plumbing, I love the opportunity to earn their business. And you're just, absolutely, I'm at homes all the time, and there's, I hear leaking, or I'm in attics checking for rodents, and there's this and that. And so if you're talking to, electricians and HVAC people, you talk to them, you hear all these things. It's like, yeah, these are the issues that I come across. I don't do that. So, I'd love to be able to help you out and send, referrals your way. And they say, yeah, I'd be able to, help them out. And in return, I'll do the same for you. That's all it is. It's as simple as that. You show up and you treat them well, and you be eager to learn and just be willing to help, man. Just get out of your own way and be willing to help others. And you're going to realize that the universe is going to help you out so much in return. And by the universe, I mean helping out others, and those others will help you. So tell them, hey, I go into attics all the time because, they're saying, yeah, I'm hearing noises upstairs. So they call the pest control guy. The pest control guy goes up in the attic and he says, yeah, you definitely have rodents up here. I found droppings, take pictures, but it also looks like they're starting to chew through some wires. Listen, that's not what I do, but I do have a partner who's an electrician. He has a great company. He's local in the area. I send all my customers that have this exact same issue to him. I know that he'd be able to help you out, and I know that he'd be really grateful for the opportunity to help you out. And they're gonna say, yeah, absolutely. This is my home. I don't want fires. I don't want the electrical problems. So they're gonna say, absolutely, it's great. I'm gonna give him a call. I'm going to give you his information, and I'm also going to give him a call, let him know to be expecting you, or to reach out, because the customer, now they've got more on their plate. So get your partner and say, hey, I've got a customer for you. Reach out to them right now. It's going to be efficient. It's all about timeliness and being efficient with it, right? So as soon as you get back in your truck, reach out to that partner of yours. Say, hey, I've got somebody. This is the issue. This is one of my customers. Just give them the information. Say, here's their phone number. Here's their name. They're expecting your call. Call them as soon as possible. They're going to give them the call. They're going to earn that business. And it's that simple. And you got to understand, now the roles are reversed. It's an electrician up there. He sees that. He sees the droppings. He says, I don't do that, but I partner with a pest control company that's in the area. He's a Marine Corps veteran. It's family owned. He's really great, and he's going to get you taken care of. As soon as I get out of the attic, I'm going to give him a call to let him know. That electrician calls you, hey, Jorel, I got somebody who's having issues. Great. Give me their phone number. Give me their name. I give them a call. I get out there, and that customer is completely taken care of. They had to do nothing except give you their credit card information, right? But that and they're okay with that. That's one thing that I love about all this. They're okay with that because they're not just paying you for nothing. You're solving problems. You're solving their pest control problems. They're solving their electrical problems. You have a lawn guy who's going to solve their weed and fertilizer problems. You have a pool guy who's going to solve their pool cleaning problems. So when you work together, oh man, it's a well-oiled machine. So that's the way you should go about it, is just offer to help, bring value to these other business owners and to these other potential partners. You show up, you bring value. Hey, this is how I can help you. This is what I would like to do for you because I'm reading your reviews and you just have a great, reputation. And that's the kind of people that I want to work with, because I too have a great reputation. I take pride in the work that I do, and I want to find other business owners who are the same. So let's work together. For me, I look for other veterans, right? You have that community, and then you're just going to be dishing out referrals left and right. And it's your own B&I group at the end of the day, because a lot of you're going to get asked, if you haven't yet and you're starting your business, you're going to get asked to join those B&I groups. And they're great, and the great thing about those is they have to bring you referrals. But you have to pay to play. It's going to cost you $1,000, $2,000, up to $2,000 a year to be a part of that group. And you have to show up to all your meetings, and you have to do this and that. And I get it, it's nothing wrong with it. I'm not knocking it at all. I've been to a few BNI meetings and I see the value in it, but I also I'm like, hey, I can do these things and they're just paying to be here. What if they're not that great of a company? But I have to refer them, but just because they're paying to be here, I have to refer them, like I'm obligated as a part of that BNI group. Whereas now I'm setting the rules, I'm the one who makes these rules. And then again, you can be creative about it. You can dish out those referrals left and right and say, hey, for every referral, I'm going to give you this and that. I'll send your company, or you and your company, or whoever, whatever technician from your company, I'm going to send you referral, a kickback, Amazon cards. I'm going to send you, I'm just going to pay you for that, or whatever it is. You can, again, get creative with it. That's the great thing about building your own strategic partnerships, is you don't have to abide by any of those other rules that BNI groups have. The Chamber of Commerce are great, but everybody's just trying to sling to each other, right? Whereas your own strategic partnership, it's, hey, I'm not gonna go to this home and say, hey, I got a lawn care guy, a pool guy, an electrician here, here's their information, give them a call. They don't need it, but when you have those guys in your pocket, and you show up, and for you as whatever business owner you are, for me as a pest control company, and I show up with a freaking multi-tool of not just pest control but other home services, and I say, hey, back to that same example of you're having some wires chewed up, but don't worry, I've got a guy that I can reach out to if you want me to. Almost 10 out of 10 times they're going to say yes. Give them my information, have them reach out, because that's an issue that they're going to need resolved right away. So again, just and think of how much more value you bring to the table by doing that, and not only to those homeowners but to that other pet or that other company as well. Hey, there's a few people that I partner with. If you're talking to that electrical company, I also have a plumber. Maybe they don't have a plumber. I've got a lawn guy. Maybe they don't have a lawn guy. So now, again, you're creating just a freaking machine, a community of you business owners, and again, you're just gonna help yourself so much, and don't have 5 or 6 lawn care companies. If you can have one, honestly, just find one, because then you're going to get into that, I'm sending him business and him. You want to help others, but that's where it comes down to finding the companies that are similar to you, that have the same values and principles as you do, that have the same professionalism and customer service, all those things that are similar to you. Find the companies that are very similar like that and partner with them. I suggest just finding one lawn care company, one electrical company, one plumbing company, one HVAC, one pool cleaning, one pressure washing, finding one of those and partner with them. Because if you have 3 or 4, you start to muddy those waters, because, or maybe you start out with 3 or 4 and then you just narrow it down. Say, hey man, I've sent you a couple customers. They said they haven't heard from you. Now you're not going to be sending them any more customers. Whereas the other one who's been wheeling and dealing, he's been hitting every customer you send, he's separated himself from the pack. So again, find that one, but if you need to, start with 2 or 3 and then narrow it down to that one, and then just feed them business. And I promise you, in return, because if they go through and you're, man, Jorel with confidence, he sent me 10 new customers this week, I got to make sure that I'm doing the same for him. I got to do something for him. And then, like I said as well, you can have really great programs and really great promotions where you say, hey, again, even if they don't have that specific issue at the time, in the springtime, whenever bugs are getting bad and the lawn care is going to be needed, that's a great time to do promotional, when you're doing some cross promotional type services, right? So for me, in the springtime, I'm going to say, hey James, create me a good email, a great email campaign. I'm going to send that to every one of my customers, and everybody who signs up gets 50% off their first service with you. That's going to be the great deal, right? Vice versa, he's going to send it to all of them. Hey, mosquitoes are out. I've got a pest control company. He's offering a free mosquito service for for everybody who signs up for this month. And you can do that. You can send those email campaigns for all of that. And so, it's so beneficial and helpful. It really, really, really is. And last thing before I go, the other partnership you want to do, and I've talked about this one as well, and this is a great one to do. I don't do it a whole lot because I know what it entails, but if you have the time, and especially while you're new, partner with those realtors. Find those realtors, realtor companies, all those realtors. That's going to be a really, truly great one that you can do. It's gonna, and you understand what it entails. It's gonna have you're gonna do a lot of WDI inspections, and they're gonna want it same day or next day. I just can't do that all the time, So I'm not gonna say, I'm not gonna offer my services if it's not something that I can fulfill. And so, but if you're in the beginning, now's the time to do that. Partner with those realtors. Say, hey, if you see a realtor sign, go out there and take a picture of you in that sign and send it to that phone number that's on there. Say, hey, my name is Jorel. I was driving by, I saw your sign. I'm a brand new local business owner in the area, or I'm a family-owned business in the area. I'm a veteran-owned business in the area, and I'm trying to grow. I see that you're obviously, a realtor. I'd love to be able to help you out. If there's anything that I can do to help you, whether it be WDI inspections or even services for new homes, we offer special discounts for brand new homeowners. Be creative. Again, do that. Send those to all those realtors that you meet and everybody that you see, because they're like lawn care companies, man. You're going to find a realtor, a dime a dozen, man. There's plenty of them. But connect with them, build those relationships with them, and tell them, hey, one of the gifts you can do to your brand new homeowner is say, hey, it's a brand new home. You're going to see pests. So what my treat to you is I'm going to pay for your very first service. If you decide to move forward with that, then you can do so. But I have a local guy that I work with. He's the best around, and I'm going to pay for that service for you. And so now that new homeowner is like, oh wow, that's great. This realtor just bought me my very first pest control service, and for you tell that realtor, hey, it's only going to be $50, or or it's free, if you want to go that route, but it's only $50, and those realtors will gladly pay $50 for a $200 service, and it's a win for everybody. They get paid from the realtor, and you build that relationship with them. They only got to pay you $50. You get a potential new customer, do a great service, leave the card, get the review, and say, yeah, okay, listen, it was only you got this for free, even though because they did get it for free, but they got it for free, and now because you're willing to do that, and you get out there, you build that relationship, say, hey, and so what we do is we offer quarterly maintenance programs, because you're going to have issues. This is going to take care of the pests for a little bit, but they will be back. And so that's where you as a salesman and as the owner can really upsell that into a long-term or annual service or long-term services. So again, you just position yourself really, really well. But partner with those realtors. But again, they're going to want to partner with, understand that. They're going to want to partner with people who can do those WDIs really quick. They're not going to just say, okay, I'm going to partner with you and have them do the WDI. No, they want somebody who's the all-in-one package for them, and that can be there kind of sort of at their beck and call, right? Hey, I need you right now. I need this WDI inspection done because they're closing in 2 days, and they haven't got the inspection, so we need it done today. It's at 6 p.m. And we need the paperwork by 7. So again, if you can do it, then absolutely do it. You're going to be able to build a lot of rapport and trust, and you're going to be able to build a great relationship with them. But understand that those type of things are going to come with those realtor relationships. Again, I'm not knocking them. I think they're great. It's just not something I do a whole lot of. But once I get a technician on board, that will be a big avenue that I lean towards, because then I will start being able to do a lot more. And the great thing with that is you do those WDI inspections and you do find termites or carpenter ants, wood destroying, insects. Now, hey, that's big ticket items, right? So you can make some good money from it as well. It's not just all about those one time or those free services or things like that. No, there can be some serious money made with those WDIs, but also understand there's a lot of liability that comes with those. So again, these are just things that you want to be aware of going into it, so that you are not blindsided by anything once you start doing it, especially when it comes to like VA loans and things like that. So it gets into the weeds, but it can be very, 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 very useful, and it can be very lucrative as well. So that was my last spiel on that. I hope you found something that you can use in your business. Hopefully this was helpful, and just thank you for tuning in and for listening. I want to keep this less than an hour long, so I'm going to call it quits right there. But come back next week. I will have another video for another avenue of marketing. But your goal for this week is you don't have to go find those partners just yet, but start doing your research for partners that you want to potentially partner with. Go through Google, find the ones with the positive reviews and that have good relationships with their customers in the community. Those are the guys you want to lean to. Make a list of lawn care, pest control, HVAC, plumbing, electricians, pool cleaning, power washing, window cleaning, and property management and realtors, because they're going to be just referral machines. You partner with them and you send them business, they're going to be able to return the favor and send you lots and lots of business. So get out there, make a list of all those, and then start narrowing it down. But until next time, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, anything that you want to reach out to me, or you want me to talk about, anything like that, man, just comment in the comment section below. Let me know what it is, and I'll do my best to get to that and make a video, even if it's something that's that we can do so. But until then, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I can't thank you and tell you how much this means to me. And here in just a couple weeks, I'm gonna have a special video. It's gonna be dropping here in 2 weeks. I'm really excited. I just found out that it'll drop on the 1st, so I'm gonna post that. But stay tuned for that. But until next time, you guys, keep grinding, keep hustling, keep growing those businesses, and as always, take care and stay confident.